A woman is claiming self-defense after killing her neighbor by shooting the mother of four through the front door. CBS's Mark Strassman reports some are upset that it took 4 days for police to make an arrest.
Susan Lorincz, witnesses say, was that neighbor. Beyond unpleasant, she tormented her community, shouted racist insults at little kids. But ugly turned to deadly last Friday. Police say Lorincz killed Ajike Ownes, a mother of four, by shooting once through her locked front door.
When does a person get shot for knocking on a door with their 9-year-old son standing next to them?
At this apartment complex, 2 of Owens' young kids have been playing outside. Police say Lorincz yelled at them, threw a skate, swung an umbrella. Then police say Owens knocked on her door for an explanation. Gunshot.
She had a 12-year-old that is also blaming himself because when he responded, he couldn't save his mother.
Lorincz was charged with manslaughter. What eats at Owens' family, police took 4 days to make an arrest.
This will encourage people to shoot black people first and ask questions later. And we can't send that message.
Police say Lorincz has claimed self-defense under Florida's Stand Your Ground law. She could face a 30-year sentence on that manslaughter charge. Nora?
Mark Strassman in Florida.
Mother of four right through her front door in front of her children, appearing before a Florida judge.
Good morning, ma'am. What is your name?
Susan Lorincz.
Susan Lorincz, seen in a green suicide prevention vest in the Marion County Jail, listed as a suicide risk, according to the Sheriff's Department. Police say on Friday, Lorincz confronted 35-year-old Ajike Ownes' children for playing in this field near her residence. Lorincz allegedly throwing an iPad and skates at the children. When Owens knocked at Lorinc's apartment, her 10-year-old son standing by her side, police say the neighbor fired a single shot through the locked front door, striking her in the chest. For days, Owens' family called for Lorinc's arrest. Florida has a stand your ground law that permits the use of deadly force if there is a presumption of fear. The sheriff saying the law does not apply in this case. Lorincz charged with manslaughter.
This situation is a prime example of when it was not justified. It was simply a killing.
Neighbors say this isn't the first time she's argued with children.
She's got history. She was the one who started everything in the first place.
And Lorincz will remain behind bars pending a bond hearing.
Now, according to court records, Lorincz told deputies she was in fear for her life the day that she shot and killed 35-year-old Ajike Owens. The 2 women had been at odds for at least 2 years, and police had been called to their neighborhood at least a half dozen times before the shooting. Much of the bad blood centered around children playing outside in the neighborhood, which Lorincz had a problem with. Her landlord says he'd placed a keep off the grass sign on one side of the property to try to quell the issues so that the children would stay away because Lorincz had complained about noise. Lorincz also told detectives that she called the victims' children by racist slurs in the months leading up to the slaying. According to the arrest report, Lorincz told deputies that she had a headache on the day of the shooting and the kids were making too much noise in the yard, so she confronted them. The kids told investigators she'd chased them away from a common area in the complex by swinging an umbrella at them. Later that night, as some kids were playing basketball outside, detectives say Lorincz came out of her home and threw rollerblades at the children, hitting one in the foot. That's when Lorincz says Owens came to her door and threatened her life. Lorincz claims the 35-year-old mom was banging on the door while yelling, "I'm going to kill you." She says she panicked, grabbed a handgun, and fired through her door, then called 911. That wasn't the first time, though, that she'd called emergency services that night. In fact, just a few minutes before Lorincz shot Owens, she says she called 911 to complain about the kids playing outside. Here's a bit from those 2 calls.
All right, and tell me exactly what happened.
You got kids trespassing, stand there, leaving all the toys around, and just screaming, yelling, just being absolutely obnoxious.
Calm down.
Oh my God.
You said someone tried to break down your door, is that correct?
Yes, the woman was screaming and yelling and she was trying to break down my door. I didn't know what to do. I grabbed my gun and I shot at the door. And I thought she was going to kill me.
Lorincz told detectives that she'd specifically purchased the handgun she used to kill Owens to protect herself after prior run-ins with the mom. Authorities say the shooting does not meet the standard for stand your ground. Lorincz is being charged with manslaughter with a firearm, culpable negligence, 2 counts of assault and battery, and yesterday she entered a written plea of not guilty.
Man, we back with another crazy story out of Florida about a crazy neighbor that didn't want nobody on her lawn. Throwing skates at the kids, didn't want the kids running around. So when the mama went to the door, she shot through the door. This is not stand your ground. Standing your ground is when your life is really being threatened. This circumstance right here looked like it was more racial than stand your ground law. She said she was scared for her life. And I think when she made the 911 calls, that was just to try to cover up the killing. Cover up you shooting through your door. She did the right thing to begin with by calling the laws. That was before she shot the gun. But as she called the police 911 after, she had already released the bullet. So this young lady was outside her door bleeding to death while she on the phone with 911 talking about she was scared for her life. This another crazy, senseless crime. Don't make no sense. And there should be something done about this more than she getting charged, because you seen a line of events leading up to this 2 years prior to this incident. That's why I keep saying we're in our last days. It's a shame we living in the days where you got to be worried about your kids running out of the yard playing and your neighbors don't like the color your children are. So now it's going to be a problem. And you swinging umbrellas and throwing shit at the kids. Like, this don't make no sense. She did what any parent would do. Go to the door. You a grown person. Ain't no way you supposed to be interacting or saying anything to somebody else's children. You supposed to go to the parents. But she already was mad and angry at the kids. She was angry with them being so close to her. But then at the end of the day, after she shot through the door, she wanted to holler, I was scared for my life. It was self-defense. I was standing my ground. No, that's crazy, man. But like I said, we're in our last days. And this don't make no sense. Killing is like a sport. People buy guns to kill. Period. People buy guns to kill. You know, and when you get yourself into a situation where you just committed a murder, now you try to escape what you done. So now you want to hit, oh, I was standing my grounds. I was scared for my life. I don't think nobody's scared for their life shooting through the door. Unless somebody kicked your door down and came in. Then you shot and killed them. But somebody standing on the outside of your door, that's what she wanted to do. Everything leading up to this what was going to happen from 2 years before. Like I said, you know, this is an unfortunate situation. But as you going through these type of things, and you can fast forward to the future and see that little stuff like, you know, you saying stuff, your neighbor saying something, somebody saying something to you, a year, 2, 3 years later, you're going to lose your life or somebody lose their life in the same situation that you didn't think that was nothing from the start. Or they just talking, we just talk. We got to live with each other. We got to live. They got to live right there. I got to live right here. So, you know, it's nothing. Fast forward years later, another altercation, somebody lose their life. And see, that's why I say we're in our last days. Another unfortunate situation. And then the old lady lied about the whole crime scene. Oh, she was at my door. She was hollering saying that she was going to kill me. That don't make sense. That don't even sound like somebody as a mother concerned, allegedly, that didn't have a weapon on the other side of the door. And she had her children right there to watch her take her last breath. That don't make no sense. Like I said, when our last days, another senseless crime. And it don't matter what age you is, what race. It don't matter. A crime is a crime. You take somebody's life, you got to do the time, period. And like I said, when our last days, it's another senseless, crazy crime. And we don't got no words for this type of brazen crime. But we in our last days, and this is what we might as well get used to. Because we continue to see different stories like this. Brazen crimes where they using the laws for their defense. So, like I said, justice will get served. It don't matter about how old you is. Everybody know what's going on. Everybody know when they doing something wrong. But this was another brazen crime. And justice will get served. And prayers goes out to her family, her kids that got to live with this for the rest of their life. Because the 9-year-old son was right there beside her when she got hit with the bullet and hit the ground. And now they blaming themselves. It's an unfortunate situation. But we in our last days, and unfortunately, we're going to continue to see these type of brazen crimes. But let me know what y'all think about this crazy story. Justice will get served. Now the lady claiming she don't got money for the bond and she on a fixed income and all of that type of stuff like that. You should have thought about that before you shot the bullet through your front door. And you called these kids all type of racial slurs and stuff. I think she should have moved if she had a problem with it. Obviously, you can't move. You have to stay around black people. So what's the problem? But like I said, justice will get served. Let me know what y'all think about this crazy story. And we out.